I've never met a rich person who's been sentenced to death, because rich people can afford good lawyers. They hire the best lawyers, and they're not sentenced to death. They have access to resources, to people who have influence in society. They themselves may have status as people who have education, who have important jobs. Those are things that poor people don't have. We don't know what it's like to go to bed hungry at night. We don't know what it's like to be sick or to have a loved one sick and not be able to take that person to the doctor or to pay for the medications. Here in the United States, the richest country in the world, we have children who were hungry all the time. That's their prevailing major memory of their childhood, is being hungry, not having enough food to eat. We have violence, and we have drug abuse, and we have terrible housing conditions. We have lack of access to medical care. So many things that poverty brings on these children, who then grow up to maybe make bad decisions, maybe to, because of the trauma in their lives, react inappropriately to stimuli or to situations in which they think they find themselves in trouble. Every client I've ever represented or even come in contact with here in the United States and all around the world, they've all been poor. They've all been poor. There's no question that it is a major contributing factor to the fact that they end up on death row, because they come to this point so already burdened. They have so many difficulties because of their economic status, because our world is, the gap between the rich and the poor grows larger and larger. So I think, it's again one more reason I don't think we should be using the death penalty when we see the effect it's having disproportionately on people who are poor, people who are vulnerable for so many reasons. I think the World Coalition is right to focus on poverty. It is a unifying factor and theme around the world, in all the countries that use the death penalty. Despite all of the differences that we have country to country, we see poor people on all of those death rows. And so I think it's a very appropriate thing to focus on and focus the public's attention on.